Hello. Today, I'm going to be filming my TBR for the second half of December. This is like my post-semester, post-finals TBR. So it includes some of the books from my last TBR, and I know I did one for December already, but leave me alone. I'm doing another one because I want to try to finish these books that I've had sitting on my shelf and I want to read, because I asked for a lot of books for Christmas, and I usually get a gift card or two, so I'll probably end up buying more books, on top of the books I'm going to be reading for next semester as well. So I kind of wanted to not completely go through all the books I have that I haven't read, but these are my next batch. So I'm just going to go through them kind of quick for you. And I'll also tell you another reason why I decided to make another TBR when I get to the book. So the first one, and I'm not going to read them necessarily in this order. This is just the order they're stacked up in. So the first one is James Baldwin's Another Country, which is going to be my third James Baldwin novel. And then I've read one short story collection, Going to Meet the Man. And so far, I have loved... Go Tell It on the Mountain is probably it is probably the best novel I've ever read. It's up there. That and East of Eden. They're right there. There's three. Anyway, that's a whole nother video that I plan on making very soon. But anyway, Go Tell It on the Mountain is spectacular. That was his first novel. Giovanni's Room is also amazing. Going to Meet the Man is a great collection, and Sonny's Blues, one of the stories in that collection, is amazing, fantastic. And I've heard really, really good things about Another Country. And of course it's Baldwin, so I'm going to try to read as much Baldwin as I can. But I just have had this sitting. I got it right before my semester started, my current semester, and I just never got to it. I kind of wasn't reading as much. Towards the end, I decided I was going to continue reading a lot more. So that is the first book on the list. The second book, and in a similar vein, is Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. I took an American Lit course a couple semesters ago, and one of the units we covered was the Harlem Renaissance, which I've always found to be a really fascinating time period and movement. And we read some of the short stories by Zora Neale Hurston, who's amazing. We read some Langston Hughes. We had to read Sonny's Blues by James Baldwin. And we read the first chapter, I believe, out of Invisible Man, and it really was great. So I definitely want to read this. And it's just been sitting, again, it was a book that I got right before my semester started. So it's just been sitting there waiting for me to read it, and I feel like I need to read it, I need to do that. And this is my chance, my winter break, so that is another one. Then we have Walden on Wheels by Ken Ilgunis. This one's interesting. It's about a guy who lived in his van after he had a lot of student debt after getting his bachelor's degree. So when he went back to get a master's degree, he decided, I'm just going to live in my car. And, you know, saved a lot of money. Came out of his graduate program with, I don't think he came out with, like, almost no debt. But anyway, and since then they've, like, changed the rules so you can't do that. They specifically have stated that you can't, at least at this university, I forget. Oh, Duke University is where the master's program was. So they specifically made rules where you can't sleep and live in your car. But anyway, this seems really, I'm always interested in stories like that, like Into the Wild, Walden, things that are kind of, you know, like self-sufficient, like the whole idea of the tiny houses, I think is fascinating. So I really wanted to read this. Again, it's been sitting. I didn't get to it during the summer, so I'm gonna try to get to it right now. Post book buying binges. This is a book that I've actually already read. I just wanted to throw it in here because I've been waiting to do my review. I had to read this for a Brit Lit class. So I've been waiting to do a review because obviously it's a Christmas Carol, and I was going to use this as like my Christmas episode week review, whatever. Anyway, So look out for this. Of course, spoiler, it's going to be around Christmas. But yeah, it was really good, I'll just say that. Anyway, so that one, already read. Then this one I just got, I couldn't resist, it just came out. And like I said, I love Baldwin, so I couldn't resist getting this, and it is James Baldwin, The Last Interview, and Other Conversations. And I guess this is I haven't ever heard of this before, but it's a series of books where they take famous authors or thinkers, and they find their last interview, or the interview closest to when they actually died, and they, okay, here, I'm just going to read you the back. I know, I just wasted a lot of time. This collection brings together the best interviews of James Baldwin's career, including his last interview, given just a few weeks before his death. In these 4 conversations, Baldwin ranges with characteristic brilliance over questions of race, sexuality, politics, literature, and friendship, as well as his childhood and his life as a transatlantic commuter between France and America. So anyway, it was fascinating. I don't know, you can see a lot of interviews with Baldwin on YouTube, and he is just a fascinating speaker and individual. So I couldn't resist buying this. It was on sale, so I got it, and I like to imagine this is the face. So like whenever I say something stupid, this is the face I get. Hopefully will keep me from saying stupid things. And then, what do we have here? And then, of course, we have The Angel of Darkness by Ernesto Sabato, which was in my last TBR, and I haven't got to it yet, but since I haven't, I wanted to include it again in this, because I am really excited to read this. So I said more in that one, and I will definitely say more when I finally review it. So that's there. And then we have this right here, which I had no plans. I didn't buy this. I just took my final for my British literature course, and it was mostly a poem recitation, and sorry, God, that's embarrassing. Poem recitation and turning in a paper. So after everyone was done reciting their poems, she had a raffle, and you won books, essentially. And this is what I won, so I will be reading and reviewing it because I really appreciate whenever someone gives me a book. And it is Emma by Jane Austen. I will admit to you, I've read Lady Susan, but I don't think that counts because it's super short. This would be my first major Jane Austen work. Yeah, I've never read Pride and Prejudice or any of the other ones, so I'm starting with Emma. So if you have any opinions about that, or tips, or things I need to know, leave a comment. Then I have the book that I'm reading currently, which I have to grab it here. And that... Sorry, it's dusty. That would be The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell, which is just pretty much, I mean, Joseph Campbell's really famous, The Hero's Journey and comparative mythology. It's really interesting, and I'm going to do a review of that when I finish it. I'm working through it right now, just so you guys know that. I don't think I mentioned that in any TBRs, because I just got that one as well. And then, of course, I have, big announcement for anyone who cares, I have started my Charles Dickens Pickwick Paper serial reading. So I'm going to make a video all about this project, and I think what I'm going to do, if it's not too boring, is I will make a series of videos discussing each section as I go through it. They'll probably be really short because most of these are only a couple chapters, but we shall see. It's an interesting experiment to read Dickens like that, like it would have been originally, considering that we have these whole fat little books. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to be reading this as well as reading other things more quickly. So I'll make a little intro for this, another video, another time. Okay, so that is my TBR for the rest of December, hopefully. I can get through all that. We'll see. At my current pace, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not going to get through all that. No. Maybe. I'm going to try really hard. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the formal video. And just because I took the time to memorize it, I'm going to recite this poem that I had to memorize. We only had to memorize 14 lines, so it's one part of the longer work. So if you care to watch that, go ahead and stay, because it's an interesting poem. But if you're done, that's fine. I won't be offended. You can go ahead and go. So to all the people leaving right now, good reading. Let me know what you think about my TBR, if you have any thoughts, or if you have any opinions, and if you've read anything, I would love to hear what you have to say about it in the comments below. Also, I started advertising that you can follow me on Twitter. My username is @booksandbeer. I think it's books_beer. I'm not that interesting, but if you feel like it, you can follow me there. Anyway, so bye. Okay. Now that anyone who still happens to be here after like 11 minutes of ridiculousness, I'll try to do this quickly. So this is the third and fourth stanzas out of 4 stanzas of Matthew Arnold's poem Dover Beach. The sea of faith was once two at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind, down vast edges drear and naked shingles of the world. Ah, love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy nor love nor light, nor certitude nor peace nor help for pain. And here we are as on a darkling plain, swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. So that's it. Thanks for sticking around if you watch that, and let me know if you thought that was a cool poem. Always interested to hear what people have to say, and have a good one.